Welcome to a Musav channel. Now we will visit a famous tourist spot. From the list of the 10 best waterfalls in the world, Angel Falls, Salto Angel. Canaima, Venezuela, is in 4th place. Angel Falls, Spanish, Salto Angel, Peman language, Carapacupai, Meru meaning, waterfall of the deepest place, or Paracupa Vena, meaning, the fall from the highest point, is a waterfall in Venezuela. It is the world's tallest uninterrupted waterfall, with a height of 979 meters, 3,212 feet, and a plunge of 807 meters, 2,648 feet. Ayan Tepuy Mountain. Mountain in the Canaima National Park, Spanish. Parque Nacional Canaima, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the Gran Sabana region of Bolívar State. The height figure, 979 meters, 3,212 feet, mostly consists of the main plunge but also includes about 400 meters, 1,300 feet, of sloped cascade and rapids below the drop and a 30-meter, 98 feet, high plunge downstream of the Talas Rapids. A tepuy, or tepoy, is a tabletop mountain or mesa found in the Guiana highlands of South America, especially in Venezuela and western Guyana. The word tepuy means, house of the gods, in the native tongue of the Peman, the indigenous people who inhabit the Gran Sabana. The waterfall drops over the edge of the Ayan Tepuy Mountain in the Canaima National Park, Spanish. Parque Nacional Canaima, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the Gran Sabana region of Bolívar State. The height figure, 979 meters, 3,212 feet, mostly consists of the main plunge but also includes about 400 meters, 1,300 feet, of sloped cascade and rapids below the drop and a 30-meter, 98 feet, high plunge downstream of the Talas Rapids. The falls are along a fork of the Rio Carapacupai Meru which flows into the Churun River. The Churn River, Spanish, Aro Churn, is a Venezuelan river that flows through the Orinoco River Basin. It's in Canaima National Park, about 6.066667 degrees north 62.6 degrees west, and a stream flows from Angel Falls, the world's biggest single-drop waterfall. The Carrillo River is its mouth, and it rises in Canaima National Park. A tributary of the Carrillo River, itself a tributary of the Orinoco River. The Churn River, Spanish, Aro Churn, is a Venezuelan river that flows through the Orinoco River Basin. It's in Canaima National Park, about 6.066667 degrees north 62.6 degrees west, and a stream flows from Angel Falls, the world's biggest single-drop waterfall. The Carrillo River is its mouth, and it rises in Canaima National Park. Angel Falls is one of Venezuela's top tourist attractions, though a trip to the falls is a complicated affair. Is required to reach Canaima Camp, the starting point for river trips to the base of the falls. When the rivers are deep enough for use by the Peman guides. Directions to Angel Falls in Maine. From the junction of routes 2 and 17 in Mexico, Maine, follow 17 north for 18 miles and turn left onto the Bemis Road. From the intersection of routes 4 and 17 in Oquosic, follow 17 south for 18.5 miles and turn right onto Bemis Road. Bemis is a dirt road that begins at the edge of a field and immediately crosses a bridge and turns right. Look for a logging road 3.6 miles into the Bemis Road that angles to the left and down a hill. There are a few parking spaces available at the top of this hill on the Bemis Road for cars with low clearance. The main parking area is at the bottom of the hill and is marked by a large boulder covered in graffiti. While visitors like us would regard this place with mystery and adventure, for centuries, the indigenous Peman people knew of its existence. They believed that Carapacupai Meru came from a mountain of the god of evil, or Devil's Mountain, if you will. After all, that was what the translation of the name Ayan Tepuy, or Ayan Tepuy, which was the tabletop mountain, tepoy or tepuy, from which Angel Falls made its plunge. The waterfall's existence seemed to us like a paradox as it didn't appear to be fed by conventional drainage sources such as large snow field, glacier melt, lakes, nor a major river system. Instead, the abundance of water responsible for the falls was practically all rainfall from equatorial tropical clouds condensing onto the cloud forest atop the Tepuys Plateau. It was almost as if the clouds wrung its water onto the Tepuy like a soaked rag. Angel Falls is also called Salto Angel or indigenously Karapakupai Meru. The indigenous name derived from the Peman native means, falls from the deepest place. Ironically, the more famous name of the falls had nothing to do with the connotation that its water fell from the heavens. On the contrary, it just so happened to be the name of aviator Jimmy Angel, who in 1937 landed his plane above Tepuy near the falls. He did it during an effort to prove to the world of the existence of the waterfall, and apparently to search for gold. Given the soggy terrain atop the Tepuy, Angel, his wife, and two friends landed the plane but couldn't take off again. They had no choice but to make the difficult trek down from the vertical cliffs of the Tepuy towards civilization, taking around 11 days. Only after successfully performing that feat did the falls become known to the rest of the world. As a result, the falls were eventually named after Jimmy Angel himself, though more recently, the late Hugo Chavez made the official name to be Karapakupai Meru. His plane has since been moved, restored, and we saw it, or at least a replica of it, on display at the airport in Ciudad Bolivar. To give you an idea of what it took for us to see Angel Falls, we first had to endure sore bums riding a small motorized boat for 4 hours against the current of two different rivers, El Rio Carreo and the almost blood-colored Rio Chirun. Once the boat ride was done, we then had to cross a stream, the same one responsible for the falls, before embarking on a steep and uphill 90-minute hike. In hindsight, if we were to bring hiking boots for better footing, then we probably would have carried an extra pair of water shoes or sandals so as to not ruin the other pair on that stream crossing. The uphill hike involved stepping onto exposed roots, i.e. it can be slippery, plus the constant humidity meant the trail was typically muddy where there was dirt. We were warned about the possibility of snakes prior to the trip, so that did weigh on our minds about whether to bring hiking boots versus just relying on Keens. Anyways, once we were at the Mirador overlook, there was limited space, so at first there was a crowd. However, it did eventually lighten up as we lingered there waiting for the clouds to part and reveal the Angel Falls itself. When the day was done, we slept on hammocks with mosquito nets in an open-air camp covered with a corrugated tin roof. Given the adventure it took to get here, you could argue that this type of excursion was more about the journey than the destination. Anyways, we were very fortunate to have good enough weather to fly by the falls on the way back to Ciudad Bolivar from Canaima. That allowed us to experience the grandeur of the falls from an aerial perspective. As if Angel Falls itself wasn't enough, we also got to experience other waterfalls as part of this excursion. During the short time we were able to witness Angel Falls, we saw it take on many forms. In addition to seeing it as a thick multi-segmented horsetail plumes, we also saw it as a thinner horsetail that disappeared into mist on its way down before reappearing as lower cascades for the remainder of its drop. Angel Falls is one of the waterfalls that can amaze you. But if you want to visit it, there are a few things you should pay attention to. Angel Falls, or Angel Falls in Venezuela, is part of Canaima National Park and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In 2009, Hugo Chavez, as president of Venezuela at the time, said that the waterfalls should be known by their real name, namely Karapakupai Meru. Today Angel Falls is one of Venezuela's most visited and sought-after natural attractions. However, visiting the falls is tricky at the best of times. Angel Falls has a height of 979 meters. While the total height of the waterfall if there is no disturbance so that the freefall is as high as 807 meters. History of Angel Falls. Before the mid-1950s, the falls were an unknown wonder. Even the indigenous Kamarakotos Paman tribe who occupied the valley beside Ai and Tepu stayed away, believing that Angel Falls' remote location harbored malign spirits. In 1933, airborne American gold prospector James Crawford, Jimmy Angel discovered Angel Falls accidentally, flying over the mountain in his flamingo monoplane while in search of a valuable ore bed. In 1937, Jimmy returned to the falls, his second wife, Marie, and acquaintances Gustavo Henry and Miguel Delgado also aboard his jittery, fixed-wing plane. Although Jimmy landed his plane successfully on Ai and Tepu's heart-shaped summit, the plane's wheels became submerged in mud, and Jimmy's aircraft remained marooned atop the mountain until 1970. For 11 days, the group trekked across Word spread of Jimmy's exploits and the falls were duly named after him. The tale piqued international interest in Angel Falls and many scientific investigations followed. Canaima National Park was founded in 1962. In 1994, UNESCO named it a World Heritage Site. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. See you the next video.